what's the conversation? Is Jaylen Brown still number one? Is JT number two? Because every time we had this conversation, we're putting JT one and we're putting JB two. Like, there's no question about that, right? So I think league-wide, yes, it depends on, the team that's behind him. I think he can be a number one option, but I don't think he could be a number one option.
So imagine this. Your franchise superstar goes down. Not a day-to-day ankle tweak, not a he'll be fine after the break, an Achilles, the injury that turns timelines into mysteries and optimism into coping. And in Boston's case, it didn't happen early in the season. It happened on May 13th, 2025 in the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks.
Tatum in so much pain.
So the Celtics didn't lose Tatum mid-year. They entered the 2025-26 season already living without him. Most teams in that spot don't adjust, they unravel. The offense turns into late clock prayers, the defense turns into pointing contests, and the season turns into a long group chat of, at least we fought. But somehow, Boston never got that memo. They opened the year without Jayson Tatum. No emergency bucket getter, no bailout wing, no give it to him and let the math work. On paper, that's supposed to be a slow-motion disaster. Instead, the Celtics started stacking wins like nothing happened. Cavs, Knicks, Magic, Pistons, not flukes, not they caught them on a back-to-back, actual wins that made you check the box score twice. Like, wait, Tatum still hasn't played? And the weirdest part, the chemistry didn't survive. It improved. The offense didn't stall. It got more creative. Instead of waiting for Tatum to come save the season, Boston started saving the season without him. So the question becomes obvious. How? How does a team lose an all-NBA wing and somehow look sharper? And the answer starts with Jaylen Brown, because this season didn't just test him, it exposed what he really is. And some people are not going to like what it revealed, because the old debate was always the same.
Gonzalez's hustle has been good. Celtics trying to take the lead.
Jaylen is great, sure, but can he be the number one? Can he run the entire machine? Can he be the engine, not the turbo boost? Boston just got forced into finding out, and the league got an answer. Jaylen didn't step into the role like he was borrowing it. He moved into it like he owned the lease. He's playing the best basketball of his life. When Jaylen is on the floor, Boston's offense jumps into elite territory. When he sits, the whole thing drops off a cliff. Not a little dip, a drop. The kind of swing only happens when one player is holding the blueprint in his hands. And over this stretch, Jaylen has been putting up superstar production, around 30 points, strong boards, real playmaking, and the kind of defensive activity that shows up every night, not just on one viral clip. He's also doing it with full defensive attention. Best defender on him, strongest matchups, game plan built around stopping him. This isn't he got hot. This is the team needed a number one and he became it. Now here's the part Celtics fans have been waiting to say out loud, the mid-range. Jaylen has always liked that area, but this season, it's become his signature. He's taking long mid-range jumpers like he's making a personal statement, and he's hitting them at a rate that makes defenses look tired. Those shots matter because they don't need perfect spacing. They don't need a perfect screen. They don't need the whole team to be humming. They work when your offense looks ugly. They work when the clock is dying. They work when the defense knows what you want. That's why the mid-range killers always scare people, because you can't scheme effort and randomness into stopping it. And Jaylen has been living there. It puts him in that same category of shot-making confidence you only see from the real closers. The guys who don't care if the shot is efficient because they know it's going in anyway.
Brown, another mid-range, another deuce.
And then there's the one criticism that followed him forever, the handle. You know the jokes, you've seen the memes, you've heard the left hand comments 1,000 times. This year, it looks different. Not perfect, but controlled. You see quicker counters, tighter combos, better patience. He's not dribbling himself into trouble as often, and he knows when to use strength and speed without turning it into chaos. And more importantly, he's reading the second defender better. When defenses collapse, he's making the right play more consistently. Turnovers happen when you touch the ball this much. That's part of the job. But the difference is he doesn't look frantic anymore. He looks like he understands he's the one everyone is reacting to. And here's the part that should make the East uncomfortable. When Tatum comes back, Jaylen goes back into his more natural slot. But he's not going back as the same guy. He's going back as a guy who learned what it feels like to be the entire offense. That doesn't just upgrade Jaylen, that upgrades Boston. Because now you're talking about a team that might have the most dangerous second option in basketball. But hold on. One star playing like a superstar doesn't fix everything. The guards had to show up too, and early on, they didn't. Derek White and Peyton Pritchard started the season ice cold, White hovering around 28% from 3. Pritchard even worse. The two guys who were supposed to provide spacing, scoring, and creation were combining for under 30 points a night and missing open looks. It wasn't disappointing, it was scary. Because without Tatum, the whole perimeter structure depends on those guys. If they don't hit shots, Boston's offense shrinks. And when your offense shrinks in today's NBA, teams start sitting in your lap. And for a minute, it looked like the foundation was cracking. Then, almost overnight, everything flipped. Pritchard caught fire, not a little warm, full inferno. For a stretch, he was bombing threes like the rim owed him money. And yes, the heater was real, including that explosion game everyone clipped and replayed.
Can't knock this one down. Pritchard got it back inside and one.
But lately he's cooled back down from deep, and the makes haven't matched the volume every night. At the same time, Derek White climbed back to nearly 40%, and once he did, the floor opened up again. Driving lanes came back, help defenders hesitated, Jaylen got space to breathe. And White's impact isn't just shooting, it has never been. Defensively, he's been elite. Positioning, rotations, timing. He disrupts actions before they even start. He guards up, he guards down. He protects the rim in ways that shouldn't be legal for a guard. Once his offense caught up, he turned back into the two-way problem Boston needs him to be. There were defining moments. White with a massive second-half burst and a key win. Pritchard dropping a career-high scoring night that made everyone do the same thing. Laugh, then immediately look for the, is this real confirmation? Those weren't random hot games. Those were turning points. That was Boston going from, we hope the guards show up, to the cards are here. Now, here comes the twist. The part that flips the whole story, because the most surprising development hasn't been Jaylen, and it hasn't been the guards finding their shot. It's been the thing everyone wrote off before the season even started. The bench. Before the season, the Celtics bench got talked about like it was a weakness waiting to be exposed. Shallow, thin, too many question marks, too many developmental flyers. The assumption was simple. If the starters sit, Boston bleeds points. That narrative lasted about 5 minutes. Jordan Walsh turned into a winning player. His box score numbers won't make your group chat scream, but when he's in the game, Boston plays better. He cuts hard, he rebounds like it's personal, he defends without fear, he doesn't force anything, he's always in the right space. He's one of those guys who makes coaches smile because he does the boring stuff without needing applause. Then you get to Neemias Queta, and this is where it gets weird in the best way. When he plays, Boston's defense changes. The numbers are absurd. Their defensive rating drops in a way that makes you do a double take. That's not nice impact, that's lineup altering. He anchors, he protects the paint, he gives them stability that they weren't supposed to have. These weren't guys with guaranteed minutes, these were emergency options. Now, they're swinging real games. And that matters because it changes the whole conversation about Boston's season. It's not survive until Tatum returns, it's you might have built something new while he was gone, which leads to the biggest question in the East. What happens when Jayson Tatum returns? The updates never stop. Every week there's another clip, another rumor, another he's ahead of schedule. And the timeline always sounds the same because Achilles rehab always sounds the same. Maybe February, maybe March, maybe next season. You don't rush that injury. You don't gamble a career on impatience. And with Tatum's Achilles happening in mid-May of 2025, every decision after that has to be built around the long game. But here's the scary part. Tatum might not even need to be a superhero right away. If he comes back at 70%, his gravity alone changes everything. Defenses have to respect him. Jaylen gets easier matchups. White and Pritchard get cleaner looks. Role players get space they haven't seen all year. And if he ramps up to 85 or 90% by the playoffs, the entire conference changes. Because, be honest, how many teams in the East do you trust in May or June? The list is short, 2 or 3 teams at most. The door is wide open, and if Boston keeps winning at this level without Tatum, they're going to be in position, strong record, real seeding, potential home court. That leads to the dilemma Boston's front office has to stare at in the mirror. Do you go all in at the deadline? If Boston stays near the top, a bold move makes sense. Not a future-only move, not a long-term stash. A win-now upgrade that says we believe Tatum will be back and we're taking a real swing. But if things slide, the opposite becomes true. Protect assets, stay patient, aim for next season with a fully healthy roster. Either way, one thing is already clear. This season changed how the Celtics are viewed. They aren't a team that folds without their star. They're a team that grows. Jaylen looks like a leader. The guards look confident again. The bench is real. And when Tatum returns, he's not walking into a broken group. He's walking into a roster that learned how to win without him. A team that didn't sit around waiting for a rescue. A team that got battle tested. A team that found rhythm under pressure. For years, the narrative was simple. Can Tatum carry Boston? Now, the better question might be this. If the Celtics already look this dangerous without their superstar, who's supposed to stop them when he comes back?